Hello, friends. Hello, world or universe, wherever you are listening from. I am currently in the ER. Don't worry, I'm not dying. I am having an infection or something of my wisdom teeth or something. I don't know what's going on. So that's why I'm here. But something crazy happened while I was waiting, and I wanted to share it with the world because that's what I do. There was a seemingly impoverished gentleman who was in the hospital. There was some minor yelling starting down the hallway. I wasn't really paying that much attention. I'm like, been there, gotten angry at people, like whatever, cursing at some nurses. I'm over that now. I don't do that anymore. But it ended up escalating quite drastically, and he kept asking for this prescription. He's like, I've been trying to get comfortable here. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Every time I get comfortable, someone comes in here and fucking wakes me up. Fuck you guys. Fuck this shit. Just give me my goddamn fucking prescription. Like, getting so angry. And he was like raising his voice, but he wasn't like yelling or screaming yet. And he walked up and down the hallway. I saw him like look at my door, and I'm like, whoa, hi, bye. Definitely like on some drugs or facing some very major withdrawals. I don't know what the medication that he was requesting was. I know it started with a P, and it wasn't a painkiller that I am familiar with, so it could have been any sort of, even maybe psychosomatic drug, maybe to help him. Maybe he is going through a withdrawal from a mental health illness and that he hasn't been able to retrieve medication. But it ended up escalating so aggressively, and he started screaming full-blown, like voice cracking screeches, and it literally got the security guards involved, and I was like yelling all over the place at the security guards, like, knock it off, like as loud, and as like, I don't know, what is that word, kind of like a giant's voice. I don't know, it starts with a B. Maybe it'll come to me later. But it was super intense and super hefty, and that kind of startled me even with the door closed. I think they went down the hallways and like closed everyone's door because of this guy. And like it got super intense, and the security guard was like, this isn't a hotel, you need to have a lot more respect for the nurses. And the dude was like, everyone's fucking giving me attitude. It shouldn't be that hard to get my fucking prescription. I've been asking for like 3 hours, and they said it would be there in half an hour. I've been here for 3 hours now. Why can't I just like even get comfortable and sleep now that I'm here? And the security guard's like, okay, well, you can go wait in your room and we can get your prescription filled, or you can leave. Those are your two options. He's like, no, I'm going to stand in the hallway and I'm going to wait. Like, I've waited enough inside my room. Fuck this bullshit. I was getting super angry still. And eventually, the security guard was like, well, then you're going to have to leave. Like, we can go now. And the dude's like, fine, fuck this shit anyways. And so he ends up getting escorted out. And I heard the security guard call for some extra backup to help with the situation. But like, holy shit. It just got me thinking about a lot. I've witnessed a lot of drug addiction. A lot of family members have had some major drug addiction. I've actually had to dig out heroin out of my attic because of someone we had move in with us. We were trying to help him out, get over help him through his recovery, and he relapsed majorly. So I've had a lot of experiences surrounding this. But it was really interesting to see it from a stranger, because usually I have like my heart in it and I'm like, oh, I love this person. Like, I want to make sure that they're okay. Let's like calm you down. Let's walk you through this. Like, we'll figure it out. But of course, at every point that there's something that you can't do for them. And I have witnessed that even with my own family members, where, one of them in particular, I'm just going to call them Squirrely Dan. So Squirrely Dan and I got into a physical fight for the first time in our entire lives. and we were getting like really into it, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I thought he was drunk. I'm like, I haven't seen you drunk in like a long time. Like, what are you doing? And I ended up like stealing his backpack, 'cause after he like ran away. He like left his backpack with me. I don't know why. And so I went through it. I was like, there's something wrong here. Like, there's got to be evidence in here. I'll just like pull it out. I'll figure it out. I'll like contact the people I need to contact to get the situation resolved, because I didn't know where he ran off to or where he was going, what kind of trouble he was going to get into or anything. And it got like really heated, and we ended up both like drawing blood on each other because of it. But it wasn't like there was nothing I could have personally done to avoid this situation. He was just so angry and facing such major withdrawals that he came at me like full blown and thought for sure that I was like hiding whatever he was looking for. But because he was saying that I was hiding something, I was like, oh, now I know you're on something. But even then, like, despite us physically fighting, there was a lot behind it that just like I felt so much care and love for Squirrely Dan that I just needed to be right there with him and try to talk him through it. But talking didn't work, and when he came at me, I was like, okay, this is the way we're handling it. Then this is what I got to do. I'm not going to get my ass beat because I'm not standing up to a drug addict right now. He eventually like apologized and calmed down and everything and admitted to his incredible relapse, but that was like fucking terrifying. You'll probably like hear him on the show eventually, so that's why I'm like, let's just not say his name. But it was really fascinating to like witness this situation without having like my heart in it this time, and being able to actually have the right to be a bystander because it was being handled, because usually I have to step in and like, I don't know, just do what I have to do to resolve the situation, like no matter what that means in most cases. But addiction is such a complicated and highly unrespectable thing, I feel like, in our society. People don't look at addiction as something that really is a disease. They see it as like, oh, you're making this choice to do this thing. Like, you just got to stop it. Like, why don't you just stop? But people like this, they can't stop. That's why they come into hospitals and start screaming at nurses because their prescription isn't filled or anything like that. They go through such drastic... Oh my gosh, it sounds like someone's flatlining over here. Jesus Christ. I just saw like 4 nurses walk down the hallway in the same direction, and there's like this beeping noise. Ooh, I might be in the air of someone dying. Well, wish you luck getting over to the other side. Or maybe you're still here, and I hope you feel better. Say a little prayer kind of thing. But back to what I was saying, despite that major curveball, people, like I was saying in one of my previous podcasts with my brother Liam, people don't look at mental illness as a wound that needs to be healed. They look at it more as something that can be pushed aside or buried. But eventually it just breaks people. There's not much that you can actually do to withstand that amount of pressure that you're building up inside yourself. The amount of guilt, the amount of depression, the amount of sickness, the amount of nausea, anxiety, whatever it is, the nightmares. If you don't face it, you're going to end up like really, really hurting. And if not hurting yourself, hurting other people while you're at it. Like, I just want to use this as a message to people that just try to have some more love and respect for the people around you that are facing major difficulty. If it is an addiction, if it is mental illness, whatever it may be, remind them that they're not alone in it, no matter how much they may have hurt you throughout their pain. It's probably not even an ounce of what they're feeling inside of themselves. And it doesn't seem like maybe you can do much for them. Like, if it's someone that you're not willing to like have in your home, then don't offer your home to them for them to stay or anything. But if they're lonely, if they're sick or something, like offer to go get them a coffee and spend some time with them. Just give them a hug, text them saying, I love you. Just show that kindness and respect, because sometimes the littlest things that you can do are that have the biggest impacts in people's lives. Like, just for example, I've hardly shared this story with absolutely anyone because it's kind of hard, or has been in the past, but I'm kind of over it. During my era of major depression and suicidal tendencies, I stood on some train tracks and I was just waiting, and I realized, like, with the technology and everything, I was going to have to get off the train tracks and then jump right in front, like, whatever. Like, I had planned out, I was ready, and it was pretty cold. I don't remember if there was snow on the ground or if it was just kind of like an icy day, but I saw this little kid. He couldn't have been older than, like, 4, like, maybe, like, he had to have been, like, at, like, somewhere around 3, 4, and he had this big blue jacket on and these big red mittens, and these mittens were, like, twice the size of his head. Like, they were probably his dad's, because he was with his dad, and I just saw him while I was standing on the train tracks, like, from a good distance, and it hit me like a bag of rocks. I'm like, this little kid, if he sees something like this will fuck him up forever. Like, whether he knows why or why not he's fucked up in like 20 years, this impact is not something that should ever be on my cosmic conscience. And I can wholeheartedly say that that little boy with the big red mittens saved my life that day. And he will never know. His dad will never know. But it meant so much to me. So just keep that in mind, that the littlest things sometimes have the biggest impact. So whoever you are thinking about right now, take 30 seconds to send them an I love you or an inside meme, gif, whatever. Yeah. I greatly appreciate you guys and your support. Just for a reminder, September 21st at the Denver Capitol building, our protest is still going on. I am meeting with another coordinator of another campaign that is nationally known, so we actually have some really good traction here that I'm really excited about. So definitely jump on there. At the Dead Roots Facebook page, it has all the information you need. The event is called Die for Something. If you're interested in attending, please wear a bloodied shirt. Feel free to do extra like gun wound makeup, whatever you want to do to really enhance the theatrical aspect and that shock and awe we're trying to portray, especially with a huge march going around the exact location that we're protesting. We have a huge opportunity here to get a lot of leverage and make a lot of people's minds change. The petition is up. It is on the Facebook page as well. I do believe it is called gun registration regulation. I just forgot what it's called. I'm clearly not functioning that great since I am in the ER. I've been fighting this infection, whatever, for like probably a couple days now. But anyways, just jump on that Facebook page. It has all the information you need because my brain is not cooperating with me. I really look forward to seeing you guys there. And if you can't attend, please like and share and do whatever you can to help promote this. I really am looking forward to a huge turnout and a huge potential, and especially a lot of petition signing so we can actually make a difference. If we get 100,000 signatures in the next 22 days, it will be submitted directly to the White House. So please share the protest. I'm going to try to email it out to as many people as possible, put it on Snapchat, put it on Instagram, put it on my personal Instagram, put it on my brother and I's Instagram, put it on my personal Facebook, all of the places. If you could do even half of that, it will reach a lot more people than I know I can. So I look forward to it.